Yeah, what brought you into an Akashic reading?
I my belief is that it's all one line, one timeline that we're working kind of incongruent with the whole thing. And um I just got the truth bumps. So first of all, I wanted to experience your particular energy. I've seen so many things. You've come across my page so many times. You have a really good feel about you, and I wanted to experience you, because I'm looking for a reading to move forward. So I wanted to kind of experience you first, because there's so many people that are doing different modalities like this,
Yeah.
and you don't always resonate with them, or sometimes they
Mhm.
aren't. Sometimes they're more ego based,
Mhm.
and I didn't get that feeling with you. But I've got
Okay.
some life questions I'm kind of juggling with. I kind of like to know, how long in this particular lifeline that I'm going to be with my present partner, and am I going to be able to move forward with a farm for my granddaughter?
Mhm.
I'm kind of at the age now where I'm going to have to do something different. Um, and I want to make sure I'm on the right line, because I want to be able to move forward. I want to help people. I want to advance what I'm doing. And these things all play into what I'm trying to accomplish.
Okay. Well, that makes perfect sense for the guides I'm merged with. Um, the ones that stepped in, two of them. The first one that stepped in is she's my guide where it's around relationships and the sense of love. And then the other one, he, well, it's non-gender. Um,
Right.
is kind of like my intelligence agent, it's like um kind of my FBI type of energy.
Oh,
So they have, all this specific
oh,
type of information that they bring through. Like each of my guides have a specialization or their own specific gifts and talents. And so that makes
do
why
they
they
come in? So they come in automatically depending on who you're working with or for?
um
You know,
yeah,
whoever's
yeah, they
needed at the time.
correct. Yeah, they already know what the energy is coming in, so they're like, "Okay, we're the ones coming in." And it's different every time. It could be one, it could be two different combinations. Um, yeah, I'm really feeling them now. I feel a very heart-centered type of vibe going on right now, which actually making me smile. It's a really feel good feeling. So, what happens when I start the reading is it's like I see this big sphere with billions of hallways, with billions of doorways. And Archangel Metatron helps me find your door because he's the angel associated with the soul records. He's called the right hand of God.
Right.
So yeah. And so
Right.
he'll help me find your door, open it, and I'll go in as long as I have your consent.
You do? Please.
Okay. Thank you. And I'll just let you know what I see, what I hear, what I'm experiencing, and the messages that are coming through in English. Sometimes they come in different languages, and I have to translate that. Um, And then when I'm all done, as I leave, myself and Metatron will close your door and lock it and seal it as
Okay.
well, just to make sure, nothing goes in and out and affects
What's
not only
supposed to
the
be there? Yeah,
correct, correct,
I get
correct.
it.
All right. So I'm just going to take my glasses off because when I'm channeling, my eyes change. I don't know if that happens to you with your sight. All right, I'm gonna go look for your door now. Hmm. Okay, so I'm at your door, and what I'm seeing, okay, it's kind of like, you know what an armored car looks like, and the doors have they,
Mm-hmm.
um, so have,
Mm-hmm.
there's a sense of this door is basically saying you're an old soul and you are highly protected. And I'm sure you know that you've experienced things to prove that. But that's just confirmation of what's going on. I feel like I need to. There we go. That feels good. Okay, opening your door now. Um, Something interesting is this is the first time I've run into this. Is I've automatically got pushed into a shadow place, and I can see on the other side of the shadow is a lot of light, a lot of things going on back there, but coming straight into the shadow, it kind of makes me feel like you're still doing your own inner work, like the deep, deep core stuff is not only coming up right now, the planetary alignment this last week has really kind of stirred the pot. You know what I mean? And so I'm not sure if that rings true with you. And so not, there is a lot of shadow work that seems to be front and center at this point. A lot of introspective work going on. And I see one of your guides actually has come forward and has got a lantern and going to help move me through this shadow until we get to the other area. So let me see what I come up with. It's like a lot of air, a lot of wind flowing through it. So, if you imagine like um, you're standing in a smoky room and wind starts coming through and it swirls and whatnot. Um, that's what I'm seeing. And your guide is saying that they've been there helping to move this shadow energy with you. So there's a lot of co-creation happening in this space. But there's something super important about you specifically. Do this shadow work to work through these core stuff because you have much bigger things to do. And in life, it doesn't really feel or appear like there's big things going on. Most of the time, our purposes are simple, like the purpose is just to love, the purpose is just to survive, and people kind of get a little confused, like, oh, my purpose has to be really big, I have to be seen, I have to be heard. And there is definitely truth to that, but the most of stuff going on is energetically there. I'm hearing nature. A lot of connection to nature is super important, where you are quite plugged in to Mother Earth. And, whenever you release stuff or help others release stuff, make sure it's always releasing downwards. So to feed Mother Earth, and so she can compost it and do what is appropriate for what she needs so that Mother Earth can survive. And then when it comes to clients and other people, hmm, you get a lot of soul connections. Whenever you feel like you resonate with people, and this has happened over multiple lifetimes, you've been a healer in many, many lifetimes, a medicine woman quite often. Do you connect to Aboriginals or natives?
Native Americans.
Native.
I'm not. I haven't really given Aboriginals much thought, but I find them kind of interesting. Um, Mostly because I don't think they've been as well. Yes, they've been exploited, but they have. To me, they have got more connection to their ancestral ties than some other cultures.
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. And that makes sense why you would have lived among them at some other time. So maybe do a little more research on them and learn a little bit more about them and kind of feel into your body where this connection is happening. Okay. Because there could be some insights that help you move through the shadow aspects, these introspective thoughts, feelings, and the perception shift and the behavior shift and all that. You know all of that. Um, and you've done a lot just over the years. You know, it's not just like this is happening right now. Um, uh, you're because I translate through your higher self. Your higher self is basically saying congratulations. Good job for all the work you've already done so far, and how that translates into your healing work. Hmm. I'm just being moved to another section right now. Yeah, I'm feeling like a sense of wonderment. There's a lot energy in your body that is um maybe a little nomadic or wanting to experience life on various levels in various places. So, ooh, I'm getting a tickle in my throat. That's interesting. Excuse me. Hmm. When that happens, there's a lot of personal truth that I'm picking up on. Um, so I'm not sure if you're able to travel or you travel often. That's just something your soul has not only experienced in the past is um is moving around to share the healing work. So your higher self is saying, yeah, it's safe to move around, go to different places, even if it's just here in Oregon, you know, run down to Salem or Eugene to events or over to Bend for a weekend event. Um, but they're basically saying that you're meant to reach more people, a lot of people. Is that something you do, or is that doable for you?
I'm not much on public speaking. I mostly up to now the people that I've dealt with. I'm I find that whoever is directed that I can help is directed to me
Mm,
automatically. I don't have to go out and search them. For me to Teresa, a friend of mine has been trying to get me to do public speaking, and I've never been able to make myself do it.
mhm,
There's a block in my head, and I don't know if it's from an experience when I fell down a flight of stairs when I was 8. But
mhm.
when I'm backed into a corner where I feel I have to perform or I have to express myself, um, I get a block in I can't talk. There's nothing that comes out there. I can't connect with my brain. It's not that I don't have the information there because I know I have the information there. It's just blocked. And
Um,
it's we and I don't know, like I said, if it happened because I did have a concussion, or if I was born with it. I don't know,
mm,
but it's very disconcerting at the least.
yeah.
It holds me back.
Um, I'm not feeling a childhood energy around that. I feel like that's maybe a little bit forward in life, like college or something like that. Um, um,
I never went to
yeah,
college per se. I mean, I've been to college, courses. I've probably got the
yeah,
equivalent of a 2 year, but
uh-huh.
never officially had the opportunity to go to college.
Okay. Yeah, I keep hearing college. Maybe it's because you didn't get the opportunity to go to college, and that's why there's a little bit of a block there. Um, a sense of like,
Well, I did have it in high school.
yeah. Okay. Um, well, what I'm getting, I'm still getting college, like a sense of like, if you had a chance to go to college, that block would have been released, because you would have had more time to work within that area. But I'm hearing it's not that big of a deal. You don't have to do public speaking. They're suggesting maybe blogging, where I mean, you can even anonymously blog. You can do video blogs where you're blacked out. Um, you can do written blogs that you post in various places that feel appropriate to even social media. But when it comes to the traveling, I'm really feeling like markets, setting up a booth and just sitting within the new energy of the place. And then the clients will come to you as well. Just different energy, different clients. And so maybe look into that if that resonates with you, of maybe having a booth at markets around the state. So they're definitely bringing me over to a section in this shadow area that there's more pink um and greens. So this makes me feel like this is the kind of the area around interpersonal relationships. And I'm feeling um it's almost like there's, that saying, a monkey on your back, where it's like heavy but still activated, still things going on. And then I'm feeling a lot of pressure in my sacral area, the womb in general. Um Seeing what, hold on a second. Um I'm hearing, there's some womb space healing that you can work on. The womb is, as you know, as an energy worker, the womb, the sacral chakra, has a lot to do, and as well as the root, has a lot to do with our ancestry, our conditioning, and specifically around interpersonal relationships. So there's some introspective work to move around that. And I'm asking for more specifics right now. Um, so I'm not sure if you're doing some ancestry work within your own bloodline or past lives, but it definitely has to do with a mother figure. So I'm not sure how your relationship was with your mother, or your mother's relationship with your grandmother. There seems to be some tension in that area. There's the truth again. That is still within your body. So there's some ancestry work you can do there, maybe some timeline work, and maybe if your mother's still around, to have a conversation with her. Um, they're saying there's a lot of wisdom she has, even if you don't feel like she has it. Um, and that's a practice of your interpersonal relationships. And the more you work within this area, and really considering what is happening in the past for you is going to help release that energy, help to heal it, release it, and give it to Mother Earth to compost. And then in return, to fill it back up, the first thing you do is make sure you have one of those energy balls to put inside there so that nothing else can come in as you're rebuilding the sense of interpersonal relationships. Um, when it comes to romantic love, um, they're actually moving me out of the shadow now. So they're saying there's not a lot of work you need to do on the romantic love for yourself. Maybe the other person has some work to do, which is nothing you need to take on. There's that saying, don't accept the bare minimum, pay attention to red flags. And I'm not saying that's what's going on in your relationship now. Um, it's part of the learning process that you have been working through in this life and then other lifetimes, and actually in between lives. There's been a lot of wisdom gathering around love for you, and that's going to help clear out the area. Um, so what I'm seeing is like there's this line of men in front of you. Um, so I'm not sure if you've had an experience where like there's multiple people coming in, or like you're experiencing one person, it doesn't work out, and so the next person comes in. And so your soul is letting you know that there won't, if you don't want to feel lonely, there's always someone there for you. This person that I see in front of you now, there's an energetic cord between the two of you, and it feels very strong. There's a very strong connection there, a very strong soul connection. Um, but because it's so intense, the energy between the two of you, um, there can be a lot of challenges that need to be worked through. And some of the challenges are actually on his side. So
Yeah,
allow, yeah,
I've been with him for God, 49 years,
okay,
and his health is beginning to deteriorate, and he has, I think he has beginning dementia, stage of dementia, and
okay,
that's why I asked that particular question. Everything is tied up together after, I've stayed with it to learn from it until I've finished this particular line to the best of my ability. And I'm just wondering how it plays out with him, moving forward. That was the reason for the question.
yeah, that's okay. So that's where the stuff is on his side, where your soul is saying, don't take it on. And that makes sense about the feeling of just playing out the situation, right? Um, I'm seeing if they're going to allow me to tap into him. Um, on They said no, I'm not allowed to tap into him right now.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, that's
Because they're like, because this energetic cord is there, there is a sense of separation. You have to have your separate energies. Um, it does kind of feel like he's pulling on your energies. So I don't know if you're doing a lot of Reiki on him, or, like a past life regression on him to see um if there's a connection there, and if there's any karma that needs to be healed. So that's maybe the part you can do for him. Um, but
okay.
it does feel like you have a choice. You have the choice of playing it out or not. because this is going to be a longer road. This isn't going to just happen, within a year or two. This is a slow burn type of feeling. Okay. Mm. So
Okay.
it's all up to you. The love, so
Okay.
the love is there. This has nothing to do with loving each other and wanting to be with each other. Um, but I'm being brought back to that line of men. Um, and I see someone stepping in front. Um, so I'm not sure, when you magnetize people to you, um, there seems to be another man there. Um, I don't want to say twin flame. That's I don't really like that term. I don't like that word. But there's another very deep, deep soul connection there. So if another man comes into your life, explore that a little bit. It's not like you're
He's been
per-
there. He's been
okay.
there.
Okay. And is he back?
Well, he's never really left. He lives in a different area, but he works for me time to time from time to time.
Mm.
Um, he's kind of an odd duck, really. And he's got a relationship right now that I feel like she's a space holder for some reason because he's not got the connection with her. Anyway, his wife died, oh my goodness, 15 years ago or so. And he's never, I mean, he's had relationships, but he's never had the same one he's had with his wife, which he has romanticized. But
Right.
I started out, started working with me, and then I did some counseling, more or less, because that's what I seem to do. But I'm married.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't feel like this is a romantic relationship.
Yeah.
But he is in love with you.
Yeah.
So you're totally right about the space holder sense. And so he does dream about, maybe one day. And it's not something you need to address to him. Um,
No, I wouldn't dream of it.
yeah,
It's not my
yeah, yeah,
problem.
correct.
No.
um, I'm asking why they pulled him forward after we were discussing your husband. Besides the fact that he's in love with you, the connection. There's your guide again. Your guide is coming in again. Um, there's definitely a sense of you called it about the holding space. Are you holding space for him as well? Do you feel like that's something you need to do?
Um, I probably do because I
Mm.
don't want anything to happen to him. I feel the connection with him as well.
Okay. Yeah. Um, feels
And
like
I,
other people keep wanting to step in front, but it's only those two that are really present for me. Anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt.
no,
What else were you saying?
no, I was just gonna say um, I just, he's got a lot of good points, and he's one of those people that other people don't necessarily see them in him. And so I think he's easily lost. And he's such a good human being, and he's got a great ancestral thing. You know, his aunts and his family were caregivers, and they were healers, and so on and so forth. And so I just don't want him lost
Hmm.
in the process of everything that's going on. But like I
Oh,
said, you know,
hmm.
I can't fix him. I'm not fixing anybody or anything. I can only do, the best I can do is to keep myself balanced, and so that I can be here for who I need to be here for, and learn what I'm supposed to be doing. So,
Yes, and that's That's the perfect plan. That's absolutely appropriate. Um, Something I'm finding interesting right now is my dog. As soon as we started talking about that, the second person, my dog got all energized and amped up. Um, and now he's starting to relax again. So there's, uh, I really feel like my dog is quite psychic.
Yeah, yeah,
he's he's tapping into that energy for some reason.
yeah, yeah.
he's um It's okay, buddy. Um, I'm asking if we can go back to your husband, before they move me on. Sorry. Um, I'm definitely feeling like patience is definitely something you're going to be working with a lot, um, as well as advocating. So, because this is a very long process, like I said, a slow burn. Um, and when the universe gives us a slow burn, that's definitely a indication that patience is going to be needed throughout the process with your husband. Patience with him, patience with your own self, because there'll be times when talk. There'll be times when you'll feel distracted or feel annoyed or maybe even guilty at times. So that patience with yourself is going to help, kind of temper those things. As well as his care providers as they start coming in more. Um so patience with them, believe them to know that they know what they're doing, unless you get this hit saying, this ain't right, and you advocate for him. Um, and when you advocate for him, you're advocating for yourself too, because you're also eventually will be a caregiver to him as well as his wife. So there's definitely this transitory period that I just feel sad, you
So I
know?
am looking at dementia. So I am,
Yeah, it does feel like there's something there that they don't want you to take on energetically, because they don't want you to carry the dementia within you and start having brain fog and all those things, because you're wanting to help him.
no,
So make
I've got a barrier up, and I've got Archangel Michael in there surrounding me. I'm not taking on his stuff. It's his stuff to take on. Whatever I have to do to help is fine, but no,
Mhm.
I am not taking it on.
Good, good, good,
Absolutely
good.
not.
Hmm. Because I mean, if he's signed up for this in this lifetime, um, then that's that. That's just what's going to happen to him, and there's nothing we can do to change it.
Right.
Just that holding space. Um, okay, they say it's time to move on now.
Tell him
Um,
thank you.
mhm. um, so I have my little intelligence agent coming, walking. Like, I don't even know how to say that word. That's the English word I got for it. Um, I feel like we're walking far, far back. Um, we've been fairly close to the surface of everything. Um, my dog's bored. He's like, "Oh, no."
He's been there before.
Yeah, he's never does this during a session, never. So there's definitely a sense of there's that sense of activity. Like, keep moving, keep doing what you can. Get involved in those markets and get out of town. Know that whatever's going on with your husband, he'll be safe when you're not there. So don't ever feel guilty about leaving for a weekend or something. Okay. Um, They're saying, okay, let's move on to your daughter now, because that's a question you asked.
As my granddaughter.
Oh, granddaughter, excuse me. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I just wanted to clarify.
Feels very daughter like though, like a direct aunt lineage there. Um, so there's definitely quite a closeness there. Even if it's not like face to face, there's this energetic closeness in there. Um, I'm hearing nope. So let me ask why they're saying no. What what is the no? What are they showing me? Um, it's kind of like this brick wall um with a ladder. And she is, instead of going up the ladder, she keeps banging her head on this brick wall.
Mm.
And these are perceived blocks for her, which are manifesting into real things that um you are witnessing, holding space for, and trying to find a way for her to see the ladder, so to say. And this is part of that medicine woman vibe I was getting before, um, where you have assisted a lot of people who have had these blocks, where it's like it's actually a really easy fix, you know. So I'm hearing just having conversations with her about where her issues are, where her troubles are. I mean, like a heart to heart type of conversation, like really sit her down, like, hey, I want to help you, but we need to outline what's going on.
And
Um,
ADHD, and she's because my son's not married to her mother. There's some issues there, and her mother's a hoarder, and I can't. And she's,
Mhm.
yeah, it's not. I don't. I getting her to actually open up to a conversation has been very difficult because she doesn't want to cause a problem. Her mother's
um,
hard.
yeah, know that this is just a conversation that will be kept between the two of you. You know,
Yeah.
it doesn't need to be expressed to everyone.
Right.
Um,
Yeah,
so
I've
you
told her
can
that she's almost 7. She's not just under 7. So,
she's more aware than anyone thinks, because she's an old soul too.
yeah.
So I don't know if they have her on medication yet.
No, no.
Okay, that's something you need to speak to your son about, is that for her to be able to um continue moving through life and become more successful, to really consider bare minimum speaking to a doctor, and really push um this idea, because I wouldn't normally recommend that,
Yeah,
honestly. But in this case, it might be something that they can consider a short-term treatment, and see if that might reset her system
yeah.
first.
I've been
Um,
working with brain forks on her
mhm,
and reflexology on her feet and working the brain patterns on her toes.
good. Good. I'm hearing the gut too, so make sure, um, check on her gut area, her intestines, and all that too, because they have they're connected straight to that vagus nerve. Um, yeah, I'm really like that's really all they're saying, is probably because she's so young, is just having those conversations with her. Um, I mean, you can break it down into multiple conversations. Um, or get ask a question, something some sort of deep question you think you might be able to pull out of her, and then don't say anything. Just wait to see what she says. Because a lot of times children need a moment to process, and then they'll speak up. And I know this by experience because I've had to do similar things with my daughter. And because I've taken steps where I finally sat back and just let her speak up, um, she's a much more stable place. She's able to put plans in place so she can stay more organized. It timers like, okay, for 15 minutes I'm doing this, and then I'll take a 30-minute break, and then 15 minutes, she's really got more organized now. So that's just kind of an example of how things can go. There's nothing lost. She's not lost. She'll be okay no matter what. Um, okay.
I want to get her a horse. I got to have
That's
a farm.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's lots of places. Do you take her horse riding?
I haven't. I don't have a horse or a place to do it.
Um, you could look up like horse riding lessons in the area and see where the stables are, because there's a lot of stables in our area um that that you guys can go to. Some of them are open to and doing trade work. Like you come for an hour or two and muck out the stalls, and then you can ride one of the horses, or take a lesson or something like that. So that's something you can ask. Um, but I know there's lots. Damascus. We used to go out to Damascus to some stables. And so we'd do the trade work. We'd clean the stalls. Um, we'd wash the horses, all that stuff, and trade to ride for a couple hours. Felt like I really had to release that one. That's that monkey on my back just left. So that I think that's the bigger deal than your husband, actually. Um, and that's because she's so young and has so much life to live moving forward. And as a support, um, there's a lot of energy to throw into that. Um, I'm being brought to another place. They're saying that message is closed out at this point. Um, it's something that we can revisit at another time, maybe in a private session. I'm being brought to this like beautiful meadow, and it's so beautiful that I'm almost like crying. Um, So I'm not sure if there's a place around you or somewhere that you've been where you felt so connected to this area. There's a sense of just relief in a way, and then awe-inspiring because of how beautiful it is. And if you have not seen that place yet, you will. Um, and maybe more than one similar to that. But that comes with the traveling. So that's that keeps coming up. So definitely consider that. Do some research. Look at your schedule, whatever you can, to see if there's something that you can fit in. Like maybe, um, start out with just traveling down to a market in Salem or Eugene because it's pretty easy to get to from here. Um, I think I feel this sadness is because it's a safe place for you to um express yourself. um People are around. You can yell, you can scream, you can cry loudly. um there's a sense of communing with nature, with the emotions that have built up from various things like your husband, your granddaughter, or
Else.
whatever has been going on in your life. So um, your soul is basically saying there needs to be a release, big time, and more than one over the years, you know. And there's these safe places out in nature for you to do that, so that you don't feel like your emotions are disturbing other people, but it's sitting with them, and you know how important it is to sit with your emotions and have this introspective thing. But they're saying as the pressure builds in these relationships, you need to have that safe space. And so it's already set up for you. So I'm not sure if you're picturing one now, or if you'll come across it like magnetized to you when the time is right. Right. I'm hearing destiny. Why destiny? Um that emotional clearing out um is not just now. I'm feeling this is an ancestral bloodline thing. And your soul is showing me like this line of women. Um and they said that you had planned to come into this body, into this bloodline, because part of your destiny is to heal some things that have happened in um your feminine bloodline. Some really dark things have happened to them, and that natural space I was just talking about might be a good place for you to do some meditation or journeying on, um, to see where your bloodline there have been curses placed, because I do feel very uh, an energy of curse, um, as well as just physical trauma along the way. Um, and so part of your destiny, part of your mission is to heal that, um, so that your son and your granddaughter won't continue to carry those energies forward. Wow, that was deep. I felt that one.
You okay?
Oh yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah.
I just sometimes I really feel it in my body, because I am merged.
Right.
Um, and so it's harder to not feel it, and that may be just part of the process, part of the purpose, so that I can express um in a more intimate way, I guess, is
I see.
the word. All right. Um, I s- I see your soul leaving Meadow, and you have a bunch of balloons in your hands. And so when I see stuff like that with toys or balloons, or like you're at an amusement park in this energetic space, it's a reminder to play. That because so much stuff has been going on for you and you've been busy, um, play has kind of been put on the back burner. And so they're just reminding you to find ways to play, whether it's, what I do with my daughter is I call it 60-second dance party. And so I'll turn on some music, turn on a timer, and we just dance or make funny movements, and then that's that. And like both of us, our energy's up. We have these smiles that last for a while. So it's just things like that, little things you can do for yourself or with your family members, and whatever else feels appropriate, like hiking, taking one of those nature guidebooks and go hiking with others and like flip through the book. Look what I found. Look what I found. what do you think this means? That's another form of playfulness that you can enjoy with adults and children. Um, and swimming. I'm hearing swimming. I don't know if you guys swim. Um, but definitely during the summer, make time to go get yourself in water, get your family members and friends in water, and just swim and play and splash in pools or the river, wherever you feel comfortable. Um, and that's another form of play they want you to tap into and make as a routine. That water is going to really, really help with your energetic space as well.
Farm I'd like to have, one of my requirements is a creek.
Perfect. That sounds amazing. That sounds amazing.
A creek and a barn and a fixer-upper.
You're speaking my language there. um, I don't know if you've had some fears around something, a specific question or a specific area of life. But I'm hearing or to remind you that you are safe, you are protected, and there is a co-creation process already happening. So a lot of stuff is going on in the background by your spirit team. Um, so they just want me to remind you of the safety you already have. Remember, you have your spirit team with you doing a lot of work on the background. Okay. Um, because I don't really see any abundance blocks at all. I haven't run into anything like that.
That's good.
Mhm. Um,
Yeah,
so I think you'll figure it out. And the reason I want that is because of your Native American roots. Um, not ancestral, but soul roots. Um, it's just this being in those outdoor spaces where there's lots of things to do, lots of things to be grateful and appreciative of.
true.
Um, always water nearby. Um, it's interesting. I keep being connected to the natives just in general. Um, and they have a lot of different types of traditions and rituals and stories that you may resonate with. So definitely look into the Aborigines and the Native Americans, um, and look into their stories, their rituals, their stuff, and maybe like if you go to Eastern Oregon, stop by the Warm Springs Reservation and see who you can speak to there. Talk about them, see if there's a way to learn from them, if that's appropriate, and if you can get permission, because most tribes, um, their wisdom, they keep the actual wisdom, they keep very close to them, and they don't just give it to anyone. So building a rapport with them, I think it's going to
Yeah.
be super helpful. And they may actually, whoa, they may be the one that help you find the property.
I actually have a connection with uh, well, the friend we were talking about, the gentleman that had stepped forward. He actually has a home that he lives in on the reservation out of Pendleton,
Mhm.
and I have a client from there who I've done regressions and counseling with that is Native American, and she is actually from a line of medicine women.
Mm-hmm. That makes sense. That makes sense. That's why you connect to them so deeply. But yeah, keep connecting to as many as you can because there's definitely wisdom and opportunities. as well as that ancestry work along your whole bloodline, specifically on the women's side. So you can start with like your mom or your dad's mother. Both sides can have some work done on it. Hmm. All right. I'm asking if there's anything else. Um, I'm being brought forward again towards your door, and I don't see that shadow area. So I feel like it was just kind of more of an awareness aspect, but it's not front and center. They're not really saying that there's any more messages to be had or speak to at this point. But I'm turning around and just kind of looking out into your space. And what I'm seeing is just like kind of mind blowing. It's almost like this whole planet I was just walking around on. And that's why I felt like I was being brought to very far places. Um, and so, um, yeah, you've lived a lot, you've built a lot, you've experienced a lot. So you can tap into that area yourself. Um, if you do a journey work and just imagine you're on your own planet and see what's there. Sometimes you may not get messages or anything, but it is helpful. It's like, oh, there's a veranda that I can go sit on and just um feel the serenity, or this is a place where me and my guides can meet and conversate. So things like that. It's a wondrous place.
Yeah, it is.
Wondrous.
The interesting thing is that this time around, I'm going to be here longer than normal. Yeah. So we're looking at, I'm midway through this particular timeline because I'm looking at least 136, which is what I got some time back. I don't know why, but thinking, well, we've got a long ways to go here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
I've got time to work through it. So
Yeah,
it's
right.
okay. So
And that coming back to the patience, the slow burn.
yeah, I
Um,
don't know how many of them are going to be traveling along with me, but we'll see what happens.
yeah, yeah. I
Fortunately,
mean,
yeah,
that's
fortunately,
all.
I am not alone. Oh, crazy.
Yeah, okay, okay. I think that's about it for today. They don't want me to walk around everywhere and tell you
Yeah,
everything because that could take
no,
like 5, 6 hours, and
yeah,
I
no,
I can't channel
yeah.
that long.
I
Uh,
I I appreciate the time that you've given me. I would love for you to come in and have a session with me.
yes, I would definitely appreciate that. Um, I love supporting everyone and just experiencing your gifts and talents because
Also, your connection at some point a little later on. I mean, I would like to process all of this. I would like to have an actual session
Mhm.
with you.
Okay. Sounds
Is
good. We'll make it happen. We'll make all of it happen, you know.
okay.
And just so you know, your door is closed now, and Metatron has done the sealing ritual already, and I'm starting to unmerge from
Good.
yeah.
Starting to get in your own space.
Yeah, it's like multitasking here, but
Yeah.
that's how it works, right? um Well, I think that was a fantastic reading. Hopefully, it answered some of your questions or give you some insight that you can take forward. Um,
And confirmations.
oh, good,
And
good, good, good. I never know until afterwards. I feel like I'm tripping over my words because I don't even know what I'm saying. It's like someone else's voice is coming through, and I have to use my physical attributes to make it happen. Um, And so sometimes I'm like, I have no idea if this makes sense, but
yeah,
they want me to say it anyway, so I do.
yeah. You did a beautiful job. I think you did. I think you did a service for them. And I thank you.
Yeah.